Hello once again, my name's Steve Jaguar, and this is another BeerNative beer review slash festival thing. Let's go. All right, once again, we're back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and follow me on Untappd. Steve Jaguar is my name there, all one word. You can see it just showing up over here. Also, I'm on Instagram and Twitter if you want to get to know me a little bit more. Why not, right? But generally, let's get to the point of this one. This is kind of a different one, right? And if you check the banner, does a supermarket beer festival suck? Specifically one that has been created by LIDL. It started Thursday, the 13th of May this year of 2021, and it features a whole bunch of beers. Actually, let's take a quick look at some of them just here. Let's see if I can do this. Here we are. Now I'm actually on the website. You can see people online on Facebook get a little excited because beer at Lidl is inexpensive relative to even supermarkets, even other supermarkets, right? So you can see it started off, who knows how long it goes, it doesn't actually say. Some of the beers you can get at a glance. Loch Lomond's Zoom Time, very appropriate. Luminous Nights Double IPA, $1.99. Hard to argue, right? Gear Shifter from 71, same brewery. Stewart Brewing, who's doing a lot in supermarkets recently with their NEPA. Drygate, actually probably the most, to me, one of the most prominent of the lot. Now, if you notice, a lot of these are Scottish. And the Scotland ones come down, depending on whether you're in Wales, Scotland, or England, you got slightly different selection. I'm in England, this is my lot here. Boss Brewing in Wales, so we get some Welsh beers, so they probably get some English beers. They had two, Kingpin Rising, and then down here, Bubble Trouble. We got Gypsy Brewing from London, Bandit. Like, there's a lot of really good Love Lane, interesting beers on this list. I think there's two from Love Lane right there. So this is one I'm sampling right now. It's empty, right? I'm not going to review that one. Kind of weird, but all right, right? For £1.79, I'm all right. So it's an interesting selection of beers, and you can see the most expensive beer here is $1.99. That, I believe, let me just don't eat my words here. Yeah. And that's the double IPA. Understandably, I'm making myself dizzy doing this, so let's get out of there. And I've seen on Facebook, everybody's like, oh, this beer sucks. It's like people really get their rocks off on criticism, as if somehow saying something's bad makes you an expert. That's not at all the case. This is a risk. What I do here, and other beer tubers do, and anybody who does reviews, saying something's good, that's hard. That's putting you on the line. That's aligning yourself with somebody else's quality. Saying unconstructive criticism like this tastes rank or whatever doesn't do anything. It's like a pseudo connoisseur expert. You think by criticizing somebody else's product or some other person, that somehow elevates you by proxy of you understanding that it's bad. Easy to understand something's bad, very difficult to actually convey why something is good. And that's what I'm going to try and say here. I really like Lidl's Beer Festival. There's nothing that sucks about it. Nothing at all. It gives these breweries an opportunity to showcase their beers in an area that they wouldn't normally be seen. I almost never see Loch Lomond as a brewery unless I go to Loch Lomond. But I get to see it at Lidl. Now, granted, these prices are kind of crazy low. So you might think, like some of the pundits, I would say, on the Facebook group UK Craft Beer Forum, which I'm starting to think more and more is just a bunch of giant knobs. They ban talking about supermarket beers on their Facebook group, and your post will be torn down if you talk about it. They would hate this because they just equate, if it's at a supermarket, it must be brewed to a lower quality. That's not true. Getting into a supermarket for a brewery can be massive. Northern Monk do a fantastic job at the standard supermarkets of having an amazing supermarket level quality. Actually, they raise the quality. They're constantly pushing the bar on what a supermarket beer can taste like. And they continue to do so. But at the same time, they offer exclusive beers you can only get on their website to satisfy the more snobby craft beer enthusiast. I think this is, granted, a lower barrier to entry, but probably pretty hard work for some of these brewers. I mean, Love Lane, Loch Lomond, these are not big breweries. These are not Northern Monk. They're not Brewdog by any stretch of the imagination. So for them to be hitting price points at £1.79, I don't know what they're doing. They're not making money off of it. This must be for exposure of some kind or another, because that's almost impossible to do. But they seem to think it's worth it. Now, to think you can brew a beer that is even drinkable at that price is crazy. So I'm not going to criticize any of them. The only one I thought that I have heard things about that we thought maybe was a little dodge. The only one, and I bought 3 of them. I had 2 of them just to be absolutely certain, was this one here. Luminous Nights was in the previous little one, which was September maybe. I have to remember, which is quite a while ago. And Luminous Nights was definitely there. Actually, additionally, so was the New England IPA down here. From what I can tell, maybe the rest of them are new. I think maybe this Kingpin Rising was out there. The rest of them I don't recognize. And I had a suspicion that maybe, given the price point requirements of creating something like Luminous Nights at 7.4%, to hit a $1.99 price, you would have had to really explore economy of scale or make a big loss. So my suspicion, which is forgivable, is that perhaps 71 Brewing made so much of it that come the second festival, they still had some in stock and they sent it. Which, if that's the case, an 8-month-old New England IPA or double IPA is really going to lack the hot punch that it had back in September, because I remembered loving it, and I was a bit middle of the road on this one this time. So I think there seems to be a consensus that maybe that's the case. Maybe one minor drawback. But otherwise, my hat's off to Lidl for being able to bring in sub 2 pound craft beer of a quality that blows the doors off of a supermarket offering that you go to the Asda's and the Morrisons and whatever, try and spend these prices on beers. You're not getting anything close to this level of quality. So I think awesome to Lidl, and that's my rant. That's what I really wanted this one to be about. I wanted it to be pro supermarket beer, and I wanted to really, really compliment Lidl on what they're doing, and I can't wait till the next one. But what I'm going to end with is I'm going to review the one up here, Boss Brewing's Bubble Trouble, because not only is it interesting craft beer, this one's pushing the boundaries on artwork, on flavor. What am I getting? Bubblegum here? Super strange. So I had to do this one live. That's what's going to happen now. Now, my last comment, I'm going to get it out of the fridge. Oh, it's already out. There we go. My last comment on supermarket beers is pretty straightforward, and that is, if a brewery like Northern Monk, let's use them as an example, gets into a supermarket and has a contract where they will regularly pay them for maybe a few constant regulars, like Faith, for example, from Northern Monk, but they're allowed to change 1 or 2, that means they have regular annual recurring revenue. If they have regular revenue, that allows their brewery to brew more, not just for supermarkets, but allows them to experiment with all of the more unique craft beers. And it means that they can grow and be better across the board. Regular revenue from supermarkets is massive. It's a really big deal. And that's why a lot of these little brewers are trying to get into supermarkets, at least have some foothold. Now, I had a friend of mine who tried to get an energy bar into a supermarket when they were starting up their company, which is now very big. And their experience with supermarkets was that supermarkets have the buying power. If they want your product, they will tell you what the price is. And if you can't do it, go away. That's essentially how it works. But it's worth it for the marketing that you get from being across the country in a Tesco, a Morrisons, an Asda, or even a Lidl. So that's my last statement. All right, let's shift gears. Let's get away from these guys. Let's say thanks for doing what they're doing. Oops, not that one. And let's dive into this one and this extra special little festival. By the way, I do recommend you try the Luminous Nights and give me your opinion. Put a comment down below and tell me what you think. Here's Boss Brewing's. Check it out, right? I just opened it really far from my face and I can smell. It smells like bubblegum. I'm not kidding. I was trying to move it away from my head to show you the art, which I'm still going to keep doing. It's got kind of an edgy punk thing going on. Bubblegum Pale Ale. can read that. We've all gone retro with this pale ale, bringing you the original bubblegum flavor straight from the 1970s. Expect the nostalgic blast notes of banana, cherry, strawberry. I definitely got banana and bubblegum and that pink bubblegum from your younger days. We can't make the claim that it's great for blowing huge bubbles, but enough for you to challenge the try. All right. It has been in the fridge for 2 hours. I have ticked all the boxes. It's a 4.5%. And there we go. That's all the detail we have. We don't know how they did it. I don't have any tasting notes beyond this. And I don't see any ingredients list, do I? Actually, it's probably easier for me to hold this and let you see the ingredients list. Best before next year. That's a really long... Nope, nothing there. All right. So out of the can, it feels like they shredded up some of that. If you ever... When I was a kid in Canada, I used to get hockey cards. Or bubblegum cards, sometimes they call them in the States. I'm from Canada, by the way. And they would, and you opened the pack of cards. You didn't smell cards, you smelled gum right away. And you'd go, ooh, you get excited to chew this gum, which was like basically putting a piece of cardboard in your mouth that vaguely tasted like gum, and you'd break your jaw on it, and you'd see what cards you got. So this is what it smells like to an alarming accuracy. Even like that dusty flour that goes around the pink gum so that the wrapper doesn't stick to it, even that is there. So it's going to get a lot of points on accuracy if it even comes close to tasting like it. Let's just, I totally was expecting, because of the can, this to be pink. It isn't. It's like an amber ale or a golden ale, somewhere between amber and golden. That's pretty normal. This is like the kind of beer I would, alarmingly, it's the kind of beer that you might want to give your children. Should you wish to introduce them to beer early and say, come children, try the beer. All right. It's okay. So when it's out of the can, you can smell the maltiness of the fact that there is some traditional brewing going on here of some sort. But it still smells nice. I'm guessing it's going to be sweet. It's a 4 point, what did I say? 5 or 4? Anyway, you get the idea. It's a 4.5%. Let's try it. All right, as expected, it's not crazy. Whoa. Hold on. One more try. Okay, that's freaking me out, man. That is freaking me out. It is weird. It ends with exactly the same flavor as you got. It's just filling my head with that gum. How did they do this? I don't get it. I need some brewers to give me some insight into this. I have never had a bubblegum tasting beer, and it's not hitting me with sickly sweetness. I thought they'd try and play one. They go, gum's sweet. When it smells like gum until you put it in your mouth, and then you get hit with a burst of strawberry. And then that's what takes over, right? And then you chew it until it's like, which is about 5 seconds for most gum. And this isn't like that. The smell's the same. It's gummy. I'd say it teeters still on banana, maybe a little bit of the strawberry they're talking about. Banana goes along, like you eat a banana, you're going to think about this. Next time you go eat a banana, think about bubblegum when you eat that banana. Take a bite and go, there's an alarming similarity between what you associate bubblegum and bananas. So this was a good move. If they put some kind of extract in there to make that happen, that's a little bit of brilliant beer alchemy to make that work. But how they got that sort of flour coating, how they got all that in there right now, I got to try one more time. This is pretty remarkable. And when I'm done this, I'm actually gonna run out and grab the glass and take it to my wife. She used to work in a brewery, and just go, what do you think? Because she's got a great palate for wine. I'm gonna be curious to see what she comes back with. That's crazy. All right. This is gonna be good. I'm telling you. I'm gonna go start with flavors straight away. I like it. I don't chew gum, by the way. I don't chew gum at all. I don't see the point of it. I can't eat it. You can't dispose of it. It goes into landfill. People stick it on stuff. It's all over the ground. I agree with Singapore that you should just freaking ban gum. It has no purpose. But I like the smell of gum and I like the taste of gum. So I'm a hypocrite, kind of. So I like that. I'm going to go 9. I'm going 9 on flavor. I really like that beer. So weird. It's like childhood in a can. And do I like the art? I do like the art. I like what Boss Brewing is doing generally. Like that is kind of like Sin City meets, what's that one with Batman? What's the one with the Joker? And why am I blanking on this? You know what I mean. You're going to write it in the comments and say I'm a moron for not watching it. Wasn't that good a film? Will Smith, Margot Robbie, you know what I'm talking about. But great character. So that's nice. I'm going to give it a 4 on art. You know what? I'm going to give it a 5 on art. That is unique. It stands out and it's consistent if we looked at the other ones. On packaging, it's okay. It's all black. Use a black lid. I like that. I'm going to mark them down because I really wanted to see a little bit more about how they did it. There's no information on the can. And if you compare this, I might review one of the Love Lane ones later. But if you look at the detail on the back of, like, let's see as I have a benchmark sitting right here. Look at the detail on this Love Lane, right? We got hops, palate, detail. Like, this is a stat sheet. So that's what gets you points. So I'm going to go 3 on 3. It's a 9 on flavor, 5 on art, 3 on the package. We're up at a 17 right now. And it's going to get a 5 for unique. It's getting it because I've never had anything like it. And in terms of accuracy, wow. This might be my first ever accuracy and uniqueness 10. I'm doing it. That's going to give it a 27. That might be my highest score on the show so far. It's just blowing my mind. I want to be one of these people who's like, well, the hop, blah, 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 and the malts and it's beer. It's definitely beer, but it's just super strange how they've hit this. I don't get it. It's not a sour. It's totally rocked my world. Okay, so this has gone in a direction I wasn't expecting. I just chose that one because it seemed interesting, and it's gone way better than I thought. I'm going to have to put chapters in this so that you can skip the little bit and jump straight to the review now, because I realized the review's potentially better than my little rant on supermarket beers. Wow. All right, I'm going to end right there. This has been another BeerNative beer review. My name is, I gotta find it, outro. My name's Steve Jaguar. And I hope you liked the little supermarket review. I hope you liked my review of supermarket beers generally. I might do a longer version and explain it in more detail. And I really hope you liked the Bubble Trouble by Boss Brewing that I got at the little beer festival, because it was kind of mind-blowing. And that's the end. Steve out.